8 years ago, we developed and launched the best bed sheets ever. Since then, you've all enjoyed the best sleep of your life. And to thank you all for your support, we're bringing you our bed sheets for the lowest price in MyPillow history. Get our seasonal flannel sheets for 50% off. They're nearly sold out, so get yours today before they're gone. Check out our new Percale line. Queen size only $39.98. King size only $49.98. And our famous Giza Dream bed sheets, queen size originally $139.96. Wait on it. Now only $59.98. King's just $10 more. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to get huge discounts on all MyPillow bed sheets. And for a limited time, when you order $75 or more, your entire order ships absolutely free. We have very low quantities at these prices, so order now.
All right. Gene Valentino joins us now, the host of the Grassroots Truthcast and the founder of GeneValentino.com. Gene, what do you think, man? We're in a new phase here now.
We have crossed the line. You and I have talked about the line being crossed some time ago. I think this, even for those who weren't too hot on Trump, you cannot sit here, watch that, and tell me that justice is properly being applied to Donald Trump. Is every individual innocent until proven guilty? Yes. Well, then if the evidence is substantiated and against the crime, then we can go forward with a case. In this case, where's the crime and where's the evidence? And I can't understand how Alvin Bragg and the DA on this case think they're going to get away. They're not going to get away with some consequence against them, if not by their own peers in the Bar Association, then by the public in the years they're going to spend in private society after they've been fired. And yet that's only if they aren't found for a crime themselves that puts them in jail. Boy, I'll tell you what, guys, just before the break, I heard you were talking about something related to vaccinations, and you talked to Brian about the Gene jab. Oh, my words. This is a jab from Gino, right? This is Gino's jab. There is going to be a complete meltdown of the Democrat Party that allowed Mr. Biden to have a revolving door in his White House with these DAs and prosecutors, these state attorneys who were perpetuating a strategy that went back months before Donald Trump spent these last 20 some odd days in a courtroom. This is an absolute shame on so many levels, not to mention the cost to the citizens who are paying for this ridiculous, bogus lawfare, as you described, against a man that, there's certain things in the I'm not a lawyer, but there's certain obvious things that need to exist. Like, what clearly is the charge against him? Still not defined. What clearly is the evidence against him? Can't find it. Oh, you got some evidence from a bogus felon who's a liar, who served time in jail, lost his bar license in his attempt to move up the ladder under the strengths of Donald Trump. This Mr. Michael Cohen now finds himself disgraced in the same way. Gentlemen, the Democrat Party and the things they have espoused is about to see its own meltdown. Whether Trump debates, whether there's the necessary debates prior to an election, whether anything else comes out, we are going to see the meltdown of the Democrat Party, and rightfully so, gentlemen. This is an outrage. This has done nothing but improve Donald Trump's campaign war chest and secure the number of voters. I think we're in for a tsunami landslide like we have never seen in American history.
From your lips to God's ears, I am still concerned, Gene, because they remain unconcerned. I think the fix is in. I think that they've got all the pieces in place to rig this election, just like they rigged 2020, 2022, 2018 for that matter. But in America, there's a 0% chance that Donald Trump gets convicted. Zero. But given that this is New York, there's a 40% chance. But it doesn't matter. Even if he is, it's going to be overturned on appeal. And here's why. Judge Merchan allowed testimony that was not only irrelevant, but salacious and defamatory. And he did not allow expert testimony. The only testimony that mattered was the testimony of the expert on federal election law. And Judge Merchan so restricted the scope of that potential testimony that the defense decided it wasn't even worth putting him on, and they rested. And here's what this case boils down to. After all the dipsy doodles and chains, and this happened, and then this happened, and then this happened, and that was a violation of election law, which, of course, none of those things are true. Even assuming arguendo that everything the prosecution said is correct, there's still no crime. And here's why. The payment was made within a time frame before the 26th election, when the reporting requirement wasn't until 30 days after the election. So there's no way there would have been a public disclosure of the payment, even if it had gone through the federal election system, which it shouldn't have, even according to the Federal Election Commission. So this entire case has just been a massive circle jerk. And I'm concerned, Gene, that they're not just going to melt down, but that they're going to play their trump card and that they are going to try to JFK DJT. I've been worried about this for more than a year.
They could try, and I don't think it'll matter because, Timothy, I think, as we've said a few times, look, the bigger picture, your chronology on the issues and all of the facts related to these Trump cases is absolutely correct. But I take a step back and I look and say, will the American people tolerate this? I fear a national serious reaction, an unprecedented reaction by the American public prior to the election that will evidence itself if this thing results in a guilty verdict for Donald Trump. I actually think on point that the jury, unlike ever before, to add to your chronology, has to wait now to Tuesday to convene. Right, and here they are, unsequestered. And as they're going home to family and friends this weekend, and they're going to be around the barbecue, and the phone's going to ring, and who's talking to who, and hey, listen, on that case, I hope you move your decision, so forth and so forth. You're going to have a jury with two lawyers on it, by the way. Do you think, as much as they may have contempt for Donald Trump, do you think the two lawyers are going to sit back and not take notice to the lack of due process on so many levels? But here's my greater concern. We have to fix the ills of our constitutional republic through constitutional amendments that are now in need. We've talked about it in the past. I remind you and the folks again about Gene's second Bill of Rights. We have the first Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments of the Constitution. Gene's second Bill of Rights is on my website, www.genevalentino.com. Folks, please check it out. I know Timothy and Brian have, but one of those amendments, those 11 amendments, additional amendments to the Constitution. And I preface this by saying I want less government, not more government. But we need a supreme magistrate system that is elected, are people elected by you and me, the citizens. No appointments from elected officials or any other officials. These are elected by you and me, supreme magistrates. And I pray that we not have more government. We need less government. But the supreme magistrate doesn't wait to November like we have to in an election to fix the problem. The supreme magistrate recognizes the wrongdoing today and moves immediately to throw the case out, to incarcerate people like a Fannie Willis, like Letitia James, like the rest of them, the Jack Smith. These people orchestrated a criminal wrong against a duly elected president that had the constitutional right to run. The same wrongdoing that they did to Donald Trump, they're doing to Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Timothy. So
Yes.
their strategy to push, as you suggested, to push RFK in to fill the void is still doesn't fix the problem in our Constitution, our constitutional republic. The problem of this kind of bad behavior can resurface in the future. I want a special magistrate to impose sanctions on an elected official at the highest level, state level, and local level. His agents, his assigns, his staff on that reports directly to him,
Yeah.
and anyone in the agencies of government.
Yeah, the whole chain. We need to see the whole chain. We need to see what government agencies were involved. We need to see the emails here. There needs to be a deep audit on this whole clown show because it's making a mockery of our country.
Real quick, in this case right here, right now.
Finish this up, Gene. We're just about out of time.
Okay, special magistrate could have come in and taken out Mershon for contributing to Trump, to Biden.
There you go. A perfect example right there. Very simple, very sensical. You can find everything, Gene, over at genevalentino.com. And of course, where all good podcasts are streamed, the Grassroots Truthcast. Thank you so much, Gene. We'll look forward to your next visit here at State of the Nation on today's News Talk, TNT.
Hi, friends. Gene Valentino from the Grassroots Truthcast. You've got to join us not only for the great shows and entertainment and guests, but you got to join us because our sponsorship is growing, and it would mean a lot to them, not to mention me, if you come on board. And the one we're featuring this week is Luis Sanchez from the Cigar Shop. He owns a company called La Tradición Cubana. The Cigar Shop, Miami, Florida, since 1995. This Luis is really one heck of a guy. He's determined to manufacture cigars based on an unprecedented excellence in quality using old-fashioned Cuban methods. The cigar isn't always cheaper, but it is better. And if, like you're drinking a fine wine, you got to have a fine cigar, look for Luis Sanchez at the Cigar Shop. He helped me find a nice Connecticut wrapper with a Nicaraguan blend. And this cigar has become not only my enjoyment, but this cigar has also become my brand and my marketing tool. If you notice up close, we've got a little label he's put on there for me. And that's my website, genevalentino.com. It's at the Grassroots Truthcast. Now, here's the deal. You go to thecubanshop.com, find the cigar you want, and Luis will throw in the labels for free. But you got to tell him Gene sent you. Tell Luis Gene sent you. The labels are free. These are $50 to $100 values based on the count. And you can get this to become part of your branding experiment. I'm using this with my guests on the Grassroots Truthcasts. This could be your brand on your product, your service, anywhere in the world. Look for Luis Sanchez at thecubanshop.com. Thanks for joining us. Enjoy your smoke.